ஹலோ, எல்லாம் வந்துட்டாங்களாப்பா? ஒரு மீட்டிங் உங்களுக்கு வந்துருக்குமே இந்த இன்டர்வேஷன் இந்த இம்பாக்ட்ல
சார் ஜாயின் ஆயிட்டு இருக்காங்க சார்.
சார் குட் மார்னிங்.
குட் மார்னிங். கிரேட் சார் பரமேஸ்வரன்
சார். Thank you sir. Thank you for the invitation.
ஆக்சுவலா அடுத்த இதுல தான் பண்ணலாம்னு இருந்தோம். அவங்க இந்த இதுக்குள்ள முடிச்சிடணும்ட்டாங்க.
ஓகே ஓகேங்க சார். ஏன்னா இந்த கோட்டா இந்த இயர்க்கான இது முடியும் நினைக்கிறேன். IIC 4.0ங்கற வெர்ஷன்ல they will be closing.
Anyway they are giving some fund.
Okay.
நம்ம அதை யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம்.
இல்ல they promote பண்றது தான் பண்றாங்க சார். throughout India இது
doing very well. இன்ஸ்டிடியூஷன் இன்னோவேஷன் கவுன்சில் மாறினதுல இருந்து இப்ப வந்து நிறைய ஒர்க். அதுவும் அதை வந்து AICT கீழே கொண்டு வந்த போது AICT இப்ப நிறைய வெர்டிகல்ஸ் மாதிரி கொண்டு போய் ஒரு கம்பெனி மாதிரி பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க. கார்ப்பரேட் ஸ்டைல்ல அவங்க பண்றாங்க.
ஸ்மார்ட் ஐடி ஹேக்கத்தானே பாத்தீங்கன்னா it is a big way. அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு opportunity for students community throughout India. இவ்வளவு ப்ராப்ளம் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட்ஸ் பேன் இந்தியா காம்படிஷன் அப்படின்னு வரும்போது நம்ம பசங்களுக்கு தைரியம் வரும்.
இல்ல இதெல்லாம் பெரிய ஒரு முன்னெல்லாம் ரீச் ஆகாத இருந்தது. இன்னைக்கு ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸுக்கு அவ்வளவு ஒரு ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி. அப்புறம் அந்த நீட்டுங்கிறது லைட்டு அவங்க அந்த காயின் பண்றதே அவ்வளவு அருமையா பண்ணிருக்காங்க. நிறைய அது நம்மளால அவ்வளவு ஃபாலோ பண்ண முடியல. டெய்லி யோகாவுக்கு அவ்வளவு ப்ரோக்ராம் ஆர்கனைஸ் பண்ணிக்கிட்டே இருக்கிறாங்க. செப்பரேட் விங்கு AICT சேர்மன் வந்து டெய்லி மினிமம் 3 to 4 மீட்டிங்ஸ் அட்டெண்ட் பண்ணிட்டே தான் இருக்காங்க. இனாகரேஷன் இது அந்த FDP ஒண்ணு போட்டாங்க, அது முடிஞ்சிருச்சு. இப்ப அடுத்த இது இன்னும் கேட்டிருக்காங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
ஓகே ஓகே.
பட் ஹியர் ஆஃப்டர் மோஸ்ட் ஆஃப் த ப்ரோக்ராம்ஸ் வந்து ஆன்லைன்ல தான் ப்ரோமோட் பண்ற மாதிரி அவங்களுடைய இது இருக்கு.
எஸ் சார். சார் ரெண்டாவது இப்போ உங்களுக்கு ரிசர்ச்சுமே ப்ராடக்ட் ஓரியன்டா மாத்திட்டாங்க. தாண்டி they want to have people to look into product development.
அதனாலதான் இப்ப இனிமேல் ஃபண்ட் வந்து நம்ம அந்த அகாடமிக் இன்ட்ரெஸ்டா நம்ம முன்னெல்லாம் போடுவோம்ல இன்வெஸ்டிகேஷன்ஸ். இப்ப அது அவங்க என்னன்னா வாட் இஸ் அவுட்கம்
அந்த மாதிரி தான் போயிடும். சோசியல் இம்பாக்ட் இருக்கா இல்ல அட்லீஸ்ட் இண்டிஜினஸ் ப்ராடக்ட்டா அட்லீஸ்ட் ரீப்ளேஸ்மென்ட் ஃபார் இம்போர்ட்ஸ் ரீப்ளேஸ்மென்ட் ஆவாது பண்ணானா எகானமி டெவலப் ஆகுங்கிற தாட் ப்ராசஸ் ஓடிது. அந்த
தாட் ப்ராசஸ் அதே மாதிரி ப்ராசஸ்ல நீங்க இன்னோவேஷன் கொண்டு வந்தீங்களா அதை வந்து இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்னா அதுக்கு தான் கொடுக்குறாங்க.
கரெக்ட்.
அதனாலதான் இப்போ வந்து நம்ம அகாடமிக்கான அந்த ஒரு டைட்டிலுக்குலாம் இப்பெல்லாம் வர்றது இல்லை.
கரெக்ட். மேபி ஒரு 70 பார்ட்டிசிபென்ட்ஸ் இருப்பாங்க.
தென் இது 78 பேர். அது இல்லாத யூடியூப்ல போட்டாங்க. ஏன்னா 100 பேர் தான் இதுல வரும் நம்ம கூகுள்ல.
சரிங்க சார்.
யூடியூப்ல போட்டாங்க. இது என்னன்னா இதை முடிச்ச பிறகு they have to submit the feedback.
ஓகேங்க சார்.
क्वेश्चन அது யாரெல்லாம் ஃபீட்பேக் கொடுக்குறாங்களோ அவங்களுக்கு தான் சர்டிஃபிகேட் அப்படின்னு.
ஓகே.
அது நாங்க இந்த IIT அலுமினி சாப்டர்ல அந்த பேல்ஸ்னு ஒண்ணு பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம். உங்களை கூட கேட்டுட்டே இருக்கிறாங்க
அந்த டீம் தான் சார்.
ஆமா, அது கொஞ்சம் நல்ல ஒரு ஆர்கனைஸ்டா இந்த இது சர்டிஃபிகேட் தான். But unless otherwise if you are not submitted any the feedback and the questionnaire, they won't give the certificate.
Correct.
AICT ல அதே மாதிரி தான் இருக்கு. நான் ஹியூமன் வேல்யூஸ் யுனிவர்சல் ஹியூமன் வேல்யூஸ் அட்டெண்ட் பண்ணேன்.
ஓகே.
ஒரு 15 மினிட்ஸ்க்கு ஒரு குவிஸ். ப்ரோக்ராம் முடிச்ச உடனே ஒரு இது அசைன்மெண்ட். ஸோ அதெல்லாம் முடிச்சு 90% அட்டெண்டன்ஸ் அதாவது இருந்தாதான் உங்களுக்கு சர்டிபிகேட்.
கரெக்ட்.
பட் அந்த மாடல் தான் ஒர்க் அவுட் ஆகும் இனிமேல். ஏன்னா ஒரு பெரிய ஒரு எக்ஸ்பர்ட்டை வந்து அவ்வளவு தூரம் ஒரு 1 hour லெக்சருக்கு நம்ம வந்து ஒரு பெங்களூர் டெல்லியில இருந்து கூட்டிட்டு வந்து இங்க வந்து 1 hourக்கு பதிலா அவரு பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு 10 காலேஜுக்கு 2 நாள்ல முடிச்சிடலாம். இனி இந்த ஹைபிரிட் மாடல் சம் ஆஃப் த ப்ரோக்ராம்ஸ் நம்ம பிசிக்கல் மோட்ல போலாம். 1 hour லெக்சர் ஒரு எக்ஸ்பர்ட் இருந்ததெல்லாம் இதுதான் நல்லா இருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
ஓகே. ஆஃப்டர்நூன் செஷன் நந்தகுமார் சார் பாராட்டுருக்கேன்.
ஆமா, அவர் வர்றாரு.
ஓகே.
ஓகே, யூ கேன் ஸ்டார்ட்.
ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாங்க.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, to this magnificent, glorious day. The galaxy of intellectuals, honorable guests and teachers and friends, how lovely is this day. On behalf of Institution Innovation Council and Entrepreneurship Development Cell of Vellalar College of Engineering and Technology, I welcome you all with a great pleasure to this webinar of IIC 4.0 Impact Lecture Session 1, sponsored by MOE's Innovation Cell, New Delhi. I take this opportunity to invite Mr. TCR Dinesh Sir, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning to all. I feel very happy to welcome you all for this Impact Lecture Session 1, virtual mode sponsored by Ministry of Education Innovation Council, AICT, and New Delhi, organized by Entrepreneurship Development Cell and the Institution Innovation Council of Vellalar College of Engineering and Technology in Erode. I wholeheartedly welcome our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. R. Parameshwaran Sir, Chief Coordinator, Technology Business Incubator and Placement Training, President, Institution Innovation Council, KEC, Professor, Department of Mechatronics Engineering, Kongu Engineering College, Pelmrai, for readily accepting our invitation and spending his valuable time with us. Welcome you, sir. Next, I would like to welcome our most esteemed Secretary and Correspondent, S.T. Chandrasekhar Sir, who is always interested in developing our institution into a higher technological organization. Welcome you, sir. I would like to welcome our respected Principal and President IIC VCET, Dr. M. Jayaraman Sir. His motivation and innovative ideas have inspired us to organize such a valuable program like this. Welcome you, sir. It is my pleasure to welcome our Dean Professor P. Jayachandra Sir for this occasion. Welcome you, sir. It is also my pleasure to welcome our Controller of Examination, Dr. K.R. Valluvan Sir, for his presence, and welcome you, sir. I welcome the various heads of various departments, EDC Coordinator Dr. Kalachal Ma'am, Department EDC and IAC Coordinators, my dear faculty members, EDC student members, and my dear students who have joined here to grace this wonderful occasion. As Peter F. Drucker says, innovation is the specific instrument of entrepreneurship, the act that endows a resource with a new capacity to create wealth. An entrepreneur is an individual who creates a new business, bearing most of the risk and enjoying most of the rewards. Entrepreneurship is the process of setting up a business. With a view on this, Entrepreneurship Development Cell and Institution Innovation Council has been formed and functioning in our college to create entrepreneurial and innovation ecosystem. Once again, I welcome you all for this function. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I take the pleasure of requesting our beloved Principal, Dr. M. Jayaraman Sir, to offer his felicitation.
Most respected Secretary and Correspondent, through S.T. Chandrasekhar Sir, respected Chief Guest of this function, Dr. R. Parameshwaran, Chief Coordinator TPI, Placement Cell, Professor of Mechatronics Engineering, Kongu Engineering College, respected Dean, Professor Jayachandra, Controller of Examination, Dr. K.R. Valluvan, Institution Innovation Council Coordinator, Mr. TCR Dinesh, EDC Coordinator, Dr. Kalai Chelvi, members of Institution Innovation Council, coordinators of IAC and EDC, heads of the departments, and my dear students. Good morning to everyone present here. I am very much happy to associate myself with this inaugural function of the IIC 4.0 Impact Lecture Session 1. It is going to be delivered by an expert who is having more than 20 years of experience, who has been doing a lot of work in the department level, mechanical engineering, mechatronics engineering, placement activities, and now one of the leading TBA in India, that is a Kongu TBA, Dr. R. Parameshwaran, in the topic of innovation, a key differentiator for success. So on this occasion, on behalf of Vellalar College of Engineering Technology and my own behalf, we are very much grateful to Institution Innovation Council, AICT, and Dr. R. Parameswaran for readily accepted to deliver the lecture. So as you are all aware of that, the innovation is the key. For the past 5 to 6 years, the central government is promoting to improve the GDP, especially we have to rely on our own resources. So that is why they coined initially Make in India, Skill India, Atmanirbhar. Now there's an innovation. So lot of there is words have been coined, and for the past 5 to 6 years, we could see the impact of those things. Initially, everyone commented on the Smart India Hackathon, but now it has been developed or evolved to a certain level. Lot of products came from that. Also, we are very much focusing on improving our economy. So we are the third largest economy in the world. We are having a very good sound economy, and especially for the past 8 years, recently you could see that 400 by 500 article came in the newspaper. That is $400 billion export in a year, and we receive $500 billion foreign direct investment for the past 8 years. It is a great achievement of the country, and recently they promoted, as we are doing the IT services or IT enabled services and auto manufacturing, now they are focusing on electronic manufacturing and services. So recently, for the first quarter, the shipments of the smartphones made in India, but the design and other things are the others, is around 48 million. Last 2021 year, we produced 190 million smartphones. So the design may be the Xiaomi or the Samsung, but the entire manufacturing activities done in India. So this is how they are focusing on all the areas. So our economy is mainly dependent on the IT and IT enabled services. Another one is the auto components manufacturing. The third one is the textile leather processing, and the fourth one is now they are entering electronic manufacturing and services. So why I am saying that, the students of engineering colleges or whatever the higher education institution should know the concept of innovation, because it is the order of the day. The technology is being changed every then and there, and we are running behind the technology. So yeah, innovative product of this century is the mobile phone or smartphone. The smartphone is replacing more than 20 devices. So that is the one of the greatest innovative product. So likewise, you have to do the innovation not only in the product, process, so everywhere you have to do that. If you are especially we have been concentrating on the sustainable growth. So in the sustainable growth, you have to minimize the energy consumption, minimize the pollution, and improve the efficiency. Whatever the technology, if you are finding to reduce the pollution, reduce the energy consumption, and improving the efficiency, everything is very much useful. So that is why they want to impact the students' mind with the spark of this kind of the keynote speakers. So by attending the Innovation, a Key Differentiator for Success by Dr. R. Parameswaran, you will know the importance and what all the things they are doing. If you are having any idea, you can approach him. Then they are having the incubation cell, they are having the seed money, but you have to come forward. if your idea is viable and the feasible, then everything will be supported by the various schemes. So definitely the impact lecture by innovation, a key differentiator for success by R. Parameshwaran, and then followed in the afternoon entrepreneurship essentials by Dr. P.R. Nandakumar will be very useful to you. Observe carefully and take some important things and you think upon that. So that is very much important. If you are getting some words, then you have to search and you have to improve upon, then you have to develop your ideas. So definitely it will be useful. Once again, I thank Dr. R. Parameshwaran for accepting his time to deliver the lecture for our students on innovation, a key differentiator for success. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening words. We are delighted to have Dr. R. Parameshwaran, sir, as a Chief Coordinator, TBI and Placement Cell, President IIC, Congo Engineering College, Perundurai, as a chief guest of today's Impact Lecture, Session 1. I would like to call upon Ms. S. Madhumita, third year EEE, to introduce our resource person.
It is a moment of great privilege and honor for me to introduce our today's chief guest, Dr. R. Parameshwaran, sir, ME, PhD, Chief Coordinator, Technology Business Incubator, Chief Coordinator, Placement and Trainings, President, Institute Innovation Council, Professor, Department of Mechatronics Engineering at Congo Engineering College. He completed his UG in Mechanical Engineering at KSR College of Engineering and Technology and secured 70% with first class, and post-graduation in Industrial Engineering at REC Trichy, secured 90% with distinction. Doctorate in Performance Management at Congo Engineering College, Perundurai. He has 21 years of academic experience and 17 years in research side. Area of interest in fuzzy multi-criteria decision making, design of experiments, quality engineering, production and operation management. His papers are published in 4 international conferences, 5 national conferences, 8 workshops, 7 national seminars. He received research grants in UGC-funded projects investigation on the reduction of SO2 emission in coal-fired boilers using wet scrubber with fuzzy PID controller worth of rupees 7.83 lakhs, and AICTE RPS project design and optimization of smart systems worth of rupees 9.7 lakhs. Ongoing research is AICTE founded Margadarshan Share and Mentor Scheme worth of rupees 25 lakhs. He has organized 7 funded seminars, membership in professional bodies like Life Member in ISTE, Associate Member in Institute of Industrial Engineering. Under his guidance, 10 scholars completed PhD at Anna University, Chennai, and 3 scholars pursuing their doctorate at Anna University, and so on. On behalf of Lara College of Engineering and Technology, we welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for the warm introduction. And it's a pleasure to be with the Vellalar Engineering College for this morning session. And at the outset, I'd like to thank the management of Vellalar Engineering College and our principal, Jayaraman sir, and Dinesh for inviting me to this occasion. Thank you, sir, for giving me an opportunity to interact with your students and with your faculty members. And when I visited Vellalar last week, I interacted with the biomedical engineering department, and I found that you are one among the winners of last year edition of SIH Smart India Hackathon. It's a proud moment for the entire community. That is from across India we are competing, and one of our product, when it is going to the national level and winning the competition, it gives us a great joy. So with that wonderful moment and wonderful ecosystem which is prevailing in the college, I take immense pleasure in getting into the session 1 for the impact series related to Institution Innovation Council's Impact Lecture 1. So I'm going to start my session with the talk related to innovation. So hope next 45 minutes I'll be delivering the contents related to innovation, what is required, what is all about innovation, what are the types of innovation, and how to nurture innovation, and as a startup, how India is flourishing, and what are the avenues available for a startup community to take up. All those steps I want to deliver in this lecture in the 45 minutes. So with that, I'll go to my presentation. And once again, I thank the Velour management for giving me an opportunity to interact on this morning session. Thank you. Let me proceed to my session.
Thank you, sir.
I think I'll go with my presentation.
Okay, sir. I have stopped sharing my screen.
So why it is important today to talk about innovation is, you might have heard about the story about Nokia and Samsung. Nokia, once the market leader, they had around 80% of the market share in Indian mobile market. As the professor is pointing out, today, most of the most important innovation or the invention of this era is your mobile phone. So Nokia and Samsung, if you consider, what differentiated their success is the innovation. Nokia, they missed out the opportunity of getting into Android technology and dual SIM. That was the mistake made by Nokia, but Samsung captured it. Once Nokia had 80% of the market share, now it has dropped to around 33%. This is how innovation can make a differentiation in your business or in your day-to-day life. With that note, let me go on to how companies believe what change innovation can bring changes to their organizations. Why it is important for big concerns or for a small concerns. Why innovation is important, let me give out. So if you consider this slide, so you can understand that I have taken from the core CEOs of major companies. If you consider Microsoft or Apple or Procter & Gamble or Siemens or Adidas, across the sector, innovation plays a major role. To put it in a simple word from Siemens, it is innovation is our lifeblood. Unless otherwise you are innovative, you cannot be in the market for a longer period. You will be thrown like Nokia. So one day we will be miserably failing or missing out our opportunities. So innovation becomes major success, gives you the major success to have a breakthrough in your business cycle. And also it distinguishes, as Steve Jobs told, it distinguishes a leader and a follower. Normally, if you consider, whoever introduces a new thing into the market, they becomes the leader. And remaining people who take up this as a later part, automatically they are the followers. So leaders, when you are faster into the market, automatically you will become the leader. So the same thing happens in the Nokia and Samsung example itself. Nokia took 1 year for product development, that is from conceiving the idea to the market. They took a lead time of 1 year to launch a product into the market. But Samsung, it is still, they reduced it. Currently, they are with the 5 months is the target period for them. So this distinguishes a leader and a follower. So innovation is the key for it. So which helps you to emerge or make you as a leader in your business cycle. So this is how innovation plays a major role in making you success in your business cycle. So coming to the other part, if you consider worldwide, which is the most innovative country in the world, if you consider, any guess? Most innovative country in the world? Participants, can I have one answer? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Japan.
Still, maybe try. Can I get the second answer?
It's China.
China. Okay, let me give me the answer. Before that, which is the most innovative company in the world? Any wild guess? Try it out.
So Apple.
Apple, that's good. So most innovative country is Switzerland, and the most innovative company is Apple. And why now innovation is becoming key for the entire country is across the world, the countries are ranked based upon the innovation index. So global innovation index is one key factor which pushes our government to come out with schemes like Atal Startup India scheme, Atal Innovation Mission, and your tinkering labs in schools. All these things are byproducts of those global the global innovation index. So it is a index which ranks the countries across the world. And if you look at the most innovative companies as per the 2021 ranking, so Apple stood first, followed by Alphabet, Amazon, Microsoft, Tesla. They are into the electrical vehicle, Samsung, IBM, Huawei, and Sony and Pfizer. If you consider the top 10 companies, Pfizer came because of COVID. They grabbed the opportunity and they pushed their business and they came out with the vaccines for your COVID, and they are into the top 10 companies in the world. So as a business person or as an entrepreneur, you should always look for opportunities. COVID gave them an opportunity for Pfizer to make a great success. They done it, and they are into the top 10 during this pandemic situation. So if you consider India, why it is important? So if you look at the World Innovation Index, we were ranked in 2015 at 81st position, and slowly we jumped 35 places from 81 to 46 in 6 years. So the current rating related to the Global Innovation Index, India is holding a position of 46th rank. And if you consider the countries which do innovation to a greater extent, if you consider, and based upon the income classification, if you are having, look at this one, high income countries, if you consider, Switzerland is the first one, followed by Sweden, and then only USA. China is in the upper middle income category, first position. On the whole, they are in the 10th position in the World Innovation ranking. But if you consider higher income people or higher income countries, Switzerland is the first one. And for upper middle, it is China. And followed by, from the lower middle category, we are in the second position. So this is making us important why we should focus on innovation. And similarly, as world level there is a ranking, India level is also we are having a ranking. India Innovation Index. It is the index has been given or rated by Niti Aayog. So they rank the states based upon the innovation. If you look into the best performing top 5 performers, if you consider, and most of them are from South India. So Karnataka is always there stood because they becomes the Silicon Valley of the country. Okay, so Bangalore is the Silicon Valley. Automatically, more startups are coming, and that too with the SaaS platform. Okay, they are gearing up in a big way. So Karnataka, followed by Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu, we are in the third position in the Indian Innovation Index. So this is why I have given these 2 slides is I want to compare on the whole the worldwide where we are standing. We are in the 46th position related to innovation. And when you consider Indian Innovation Index, Tamil Nadu is holding a position at 3rd position in the Indian Innovation Index ranking. So let us focus on these 2 aspects. Keep this in mind. What as an institution or what as an individuals we should do in order to promote innovation within us or within a campus, engineering campus. So with that note, let me move on to the definition of innovation. Can you differentiate between invention and innovation? Anybody? What do you mean by invention and what do you mean by innovation? Some wild guess from the participants. It may be wrong, it may be right. Come out and talk. Invention. This telephone was invented by?
So invention means what we find, and innovation means the idea from which we can invent it.
So you're closer. For example, let me give the example of the mobile phone and the telephone. Telephone was invented by Graham Bell, isn't it? And after telephone, we are now having a phone in the form of smartphones. Okay, the smaller incremental changes, what we are bringing into a product or a process, generally I call it as innovation. Inventions will happen once in a while. It is a breakthrough. Okay, for example, internet technology is a breakthrough. 5G is a breakthrough. Similarly, your telephone is a breakthrough. Your TV TV was invented by Jailbird. Okay, it is a breakthrough. All these things are breakthroughs. Inventions will happen once in a while. Based from that, if you are starting to doing a better way of coming out with a new product or a new process, generally I call it as innovation. So innovation is like a continuous improvement process. Normally in the Japanese word, they use a term called kaizen. So if you correlate kaizen and innovation, they are closely associated. So smaller incremental improvements, if you are making in a product or a process, generally I classify it as innovation. So innovation, the successful exploitation of new ideas, generally we classify it as innovation. So it is a specific tool for entrepreneurs. Unless otherwise, the entrepreneurs are innovative, they cannot come out with the new products, they cannot think or exploit the new changes, new opportunities, they cannot grab it. So innovation is the specific tool of entrepreneurs, the means by which they exploit the change as an opportunity for different business or a service. So generally, this is the best tool for innovators. So now the companies are focusing on, for example, if you consider Bosch, Robert Bosch is doing a lot of things in Coimbatore itself, and every day, they are at least 15 days once they want to have one patent in the FDA, so that they are coming out with the new ideas. If you consider additive manufacturing itself, early days, Stratasys had the patent, and for 20 years, people were unable to exploit it. Later, when they opened up the patent thing for common public, then the technology emerged. Okay? So innovation is required for any business, and to make yourself differentiate from others, it is a major thing. Look at this opportunity. A person is walking on a rainy day, and he is having the umbrella in his hand. This is a general picture. If you consider this as an opportunity, what is the resource here? Any guess?
The umbrella.
Umbrella. As an entrepreneur or person with creativity, can you give some other answer? What is the opportunity available here in this picture? Our wild guess.
Rain.
Rain. Very good. Water. What is the greatest resource? Okay. So if you are an entrepreneur or if you are very innovative, always you will identify ways to utilize your resources properly or minimize your resources and maximize your profit. Okay, so now look at the second picture. So what is happening? The person is collecting, he has inverted the umbrella design. Okay, still the basic purpose of umbrella is retained, is not getting hurt by the rain, but at the same time, he is having a mechanism to collect the water. Okay, so innovation is all about mindset. So innovation is your state of mind. How innovative you are, how thinking you are, what makes you to be different, that speaks for you. Okay, so let me get into the types of innovation, and let me give some few examples related to the various types of innovation, so that you can understand why innovation is important. Okay, this picture itself will give you what is all about how to be an innovative person. Okay, as an outcome of innovation, what are things you can achieve? This picture itself will reveal all the aspects. Now coming to innovation, why it is important? What do you mind as an innovative product? What it should do? So always keep in mind, creating a new value or capturing a new value in a new way is called as innovation. Maybe the technology, maybe you may use high-end technology in your product. Whether it will serve the basic purpose or the need, that will be a question mark. So remember that if you are adding value to your product or a process, that process I call it as innovation. If nothing is added as a value to your customers, then we cannot claim that it is an innovative product, or you have not done any innovation in the existing model. Okay, if you want to have, for example, let me give an example. Mobile phone, when it was launched, it came out with a simple version of communicating through voice or through text. That was the initial thing. Slowly they have added cameras, they have added everything into this, and now each and every new aspect what they are adding, it should add a value to your customer. Okay, then only you can claim it as an innovation. Okay, the major thing between innovation and invention is, maybe invention does not speak about value addition. Okay, invention, technology you have found out or a new material you have found out, that is an invention. And if you are converting that material into useful format, then I call it as innovation. Okay, the value addition is the keyword which makes the difference. Okay, let me give an example for it.
When I was a student, I'd write long essays that I'd work on for days,
The audience,
but now
are able to
I'm
hear the
writing
audio?
short emails and messages all
Yes,
day,
sir.
every day. Grammarly has been a lifesaver. Here's an example.
Whether the video is visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
Okay. Look at this product. They are finding it as a replacement for a leather. They are coming out with a new material. And the resource they are using is coconut water, tender coconut water. They are using it. This is a product from Kerala state, because you have an abandoned coconut tree there. They can use this coconut tree to find a replacement for your leather products. Okay, please listen. It is a 2-minute video.
In a brilliant innovation, a Kerala startup, Malai, is making water-resistant leather alternative from coconut water. Yes, you heard that right. Co-founded by Kerala's Sumit C. Sushilan and Slovakia's Zuzana Gambosova, Malai Biomaterial Design Private Limited is making a biocompost from coconut water that looks and feels like leather but can decompose in 150 days.
So they are coming with the biocomposite material. So they are using coconut water to prepare it. And what is the advantage is, when you are discarding the product, it will decompose within 150 days. Okay, so eco-friendly system, as Professor is also pointing out, green products and sustainable technologies. That is the order of the day. Whatever thing you are going to manufacture, make it a sustainable one, so that let us leave the earth for next generation to live. Okay, so please listen to it.
For ages, the beauty and elegance of leather has come at a terrible price. Apart from nauseating black smoke, leather tanneries release huge amounts of wastewater laced with toxic chemicals. This is where Malay's eco-friendly leather comes in. Its makers claim to create it without aggressive chemicals.
I was motivated by the idea to develop a material which is circular in nature, which is not, which doesn't have a negative impact on the environment and can be within the realm of fashion or product design.
After so much research and experimentation, Zuzana and Susmit chanced upon the idea of using the bacterial cellulose present in coconut water to turn it into leather. So, how does this work?
We have basically two kind of processes in place. One is the fermentation process, where we collect water from nature coconuts and feed it as a nutrient to a type of bacteria, which ferments in it and converts the sugars into cellulose, and we form the material into sheets or into three-dimensional shape, whatever is required.
Malay is currently collaborating with IIT Hyderabad to make their material better and more affordable. The PETA-approved company also bagged the winning title at Circular Design Challenge at Lakme Fashion Week Summer Resort 2020. For more stories of innovation creating a greener and cleaner world.
So, what was the learning? Any new learning?
Yes, sir.
What was the value addition they have done?
Sir?
What was the value addition they have done?
So they're actually using this waste water, sir. Actually, we are wasting the coconut water till now.
Yes.
Actually, they are taking that and they are making use of that as a bacterial formation.
Very good.
And they are making that with actually you said that that leather is decomposing in 150 days.
That is the value addition they are giving. That is, they are first thing they are using the untapped resource. Coconut water, normally when it is broken, it is thrown away. And maybe for a tender coconut, people used to drain. For the mature coconuts, normally when we cut for our cooking purpose, the water is thrown away. And few people, when it is in the smaller quantity, they used to drain. When it is a bigger consumption, normally it is thrown away. So that is given as an input for your bacterial growth, and fermentation process is happening. They're converting that into a sheet. Okay. So this is all about your innovation. We are adding value to the current resources. Okay. So generally, innovation is your theoretical conception which will happen. Then some technical invention will also be taken into account. And the last part is it should have commercial exploitation. And then only I claim it as innovation. Otherwise, it will remain as an invention. If you are finding new things, it will remain as an invention. You are adding some value and having a commercial exploitation, automatically I classify it as innovation. Generally, I can classify the types of innovation broadly classified into three. That is product innovation, process innovation, and as an organization, you can have a change. You can claim that, for example, you can some companies claim them as a Six Sigma company. Okay, it is an organizational change. Okay. So let me focus on first two alone today. That is all about product innovation and process innovation. Coming to product innovation, it's nothing but you can introduce a new product or you can find a new thing. Okay, or for the existing product or the older product, you are modifying something and you are giving it as an innovation. So if some value addition is done, I call it as for the existing product itself. If you are adding some value, then it becomes your product innovation, or you can find a new product. Okay. Similarly for process, the new ways of doing something, generally I call it as process innovation. Let me give an example for product as well as process innovation. This professor, he is an English professor from Christ University, Bangalore. Normally, when we talk about product innovation, generally we think that engineers only will do this. Okay, so look at his idea and how he has converted that idea into a business idea. That is the key point, because if there is no value addition, don't claim it as an innovation. Okay, so please listen to his innovation.
Hello, welcome to the word subscribe, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Varghese is an associate. Saji Varghese is an associate professor at the Department of English at Christ University, and first thought of making straws out of dried coconut leaves when he stumbled upon the coconut branches lying waste in that university.
So normally, what is the purpose we will use the dry coconut leaves? What we will do generally with the help of what we will do using your dry coconut leaves? Because most of you are from, maybe 50% of the people are from agricultural background. I assume that in this community, 50% of nearby villages. Generally, what
for sweepers, sir, sweepers.
No, they will remove the
sweeping purpose. Remove the leaves and we use that stem for sweeping.
Sweeping. Then how we will dispose it? How we will dispose it? Any idea?
So normally we throw that away. We take that stem and we throw that away, sir. Actually, we dispose barely.
We will dispose it either for through heating, that is fire. We will use it,
or sir.
We will be using for steaming, or we will be using for creating warm waters. Okay. Second thing, maybe for in the when we are having severe cold, people use it for heating purpose, and normally when after removing the sticks, they will be thrown to the garbage. As a garbage, they will be put it in your open yards. This is how they dispose. But professor found that, Saji Varghese found that when he was walking through he's staying in the quarters of university. When he was walking through that, he found that these leaves were turning in and around in the air. Okay, he thought of why not it can be a replacement for the plastic straws what we are using. That is his business idea. Please listen to it.
While the branches and leaves already have many uses in rural areas, this addresses the concern about how hazardous plastic straws are for the environment. Each year, a coconut tree naturally loses up to 6 of its leaves. From the results of a study I carried on the same subject, I found out that in many rural areas in our country, these leaves are simply burned due to the difficulty in its disposal. That's when I decided to create an eco-friendly product out of it in 2017, Saji mentions. After research of 2 years, he developed coconut leaf straws, which cost ₹3 to ₹10 each, depending on the size, and they have been tested on all kinds of hot and cold beverages, including bubble tea. When Saji steamed the coconut leaves, he noticed a wax-like residue secreted, and used this wax to make the straws hydrophobic, antifungal, and long-lasting. They don't get soggy even after 6 hours of being immersed, and don't secrete glue or change the color of the drink, Sandeep Yu, a team member, says. We entered the Climate Launchpad Award in the Netherlands and won the award for Best Innovation for Social Impact against 45 competing countries. This automatically pushed us into the international market, and soon we started receiving orders from countries like Malaysia, the USA, UK, Germany, Australia, and the Philippines. The product, which has been launched under the name Sunbird Straws, now has global order worth ₹6 crores, upskills and provides employment to rural Indian women. We hope this inspires people to work more on.
So what is this business idea, business model? how he is using this. Look at this picture. Who are these people? They are from Saji Verghese used the technology that when I am steaming this coconut leaf, it releases a wax-like substance. So this wax-like substance, when the coconut leaves are steamed, it releases wax-like substance. So it acts as hydrophobic. So it will not allow water to or any other contents to penetrate inside. So it helps them to act as an antifungal one and also hydrophobic. So with that, he identified that it will be a replacement for the plastic straws. That is his idea. Now, how he has converted that into a business means he developed machineries. Okay, so he gave that machineries to self-help groups across South India. You can browse and you can find that in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Kerala. He's taking a huge lead and is developing this as a business model. And he has given the machineries to the self-help groups, and the women are empowered in the village. They develop their own stars, and all these things are taken up by Saji, and they give as a product within the country, and they have an export opportunities also. This is all about a product innovation. Okay, let me come back to a process. Okay, normally hotel businesses, let us consider. Okay, it is a big business. So how to bring innovation in that process? It is a service industry. How to bring process innovation? So one such person has done a wonderful thing, and Oyo, who is the founder? If you put it today, top 5 young entrepreneurs in India, he will be the first name. Any wild guess for his name? Any answers? Owner of Oyo Rooms, hotels. I think people are listening. Ritesh Agarwal. Okay. So what does Ritesh has done? Please listen to his audio.
Hey, the guy you see next to me is the world's youngest billionaire, and he's not even 30.
Hi, I'm Ritesh Agarwal. I'm 26 years old.
And this guy doesn't come from New York, doesn't come from California, doesn't come from Sweden. He comes from here, Rayagada, India, a city where most people make no more than $10 a day. For the first time ever, I want to share with you the incredible success story of the world's youngest billionaire. Ritesh grew up poor, and for 18 years, he struggled. He didn't go to university, and he had no career.
At that point of time, I felt this was the toughest period I was ever going to endure in my life.
At some point, he was kicked out of his apartment with 50 cents in his bank account. So how the hell do you become a billionaire?
Money is not what I ever cared about. It is always about solving real problems for me.
And so he did. He noticed that a nearby hotel was empty a lot of the time, and the owner wasn't making much money. So he went to the owner and took the biggest risk of his life. He promised to make his hotel better. He changed the light bulbs. He changed the beds. He added water. He put picture frames. He put room service. And he took nice pictures of the hotel and put them on the internet and changed the name and called it Oyo Hotel. All of a sudden, the hotel went from empty to full, and it worked.
First hotel is always the hardest. When I was able to change one hotel, I was pretty sure I could change hundreds.
At age 20, he raised money from investors. At age 21, he hired 50 people. At age 22, he had 500 hotels. At age 24, he raised $1 billion. And at age 26, right now, he has 43,000 hotels and built the second largest hotel chain in the world, and he's not even 30 years old.
Many people told me multiple times, go to university, seek help from parents to make sure that you can do that. This is just not going to work.
That's crazy. Think about this for a second. A random kid in a poor city in India with 50 cents in his bank account became the world's youngest billionaire in 6 years and helped 350,000 people get jobs. This isn't just luck. This is the definition of hard work. He worked at night. He worked on weekends. He knocked on doors. He guessed people's emails. He begged to get meetings. And he succeeded even when all odds were stacked against people that looked like him.
But I do believe in luck. I believe if you work hard, your probability of being lucky increases dramatically.
When you don't let your nationality, ethnicity, age, university background, family status, or gender come in the way, you will achieve great.
Whether it was inspiring?
Sir, definitely it will be inspiring.
So from a humble background, not even gone to the college, he was able to make up a big bang. Okay, so he has done for the entire process of hotel industry. Okay, so normally services, generally we take it as hotel services, we take it as it's a big opportunity. So he made it as the second largest supply chain or the hotel chain in the world. Okay, so the way in which we do our activities. Okay, so the process, hotel service is a process. He modified it, the entire process, and he made it as a easily available for everyone to look into the internet and book their rooms and he took the rooms and the hotels or the buildings and he converted into OYO hotels. Okay, that is the innovation he has made in the process of building a hotel. Instead of building hotels, he occupied the empty halls and buildings in the towns. He converted that into a business. Okay, generally, this is the best example for process innovation. Organization innovation, I'm not going to touch today. So let me move on to the other types of innovation. Generally, it can be incremental or it can be radical. That is, a rapid breakthrough can happen in once in a while. Generally, I call that as a radical innovation. And incremental is smaller things. For example, if you consider this chart, on the x-axis I have taken incremental to radial and y-axis component level to system level. If you consider improvement of smaller things in your regular component, it is incremental. And as a technology or a revolution, if you consider that, I call it as radical innovation. Okay. The big picture or the emphasis of what I want to give here is when an idea will become a business idea. All your projects, what you're doing in your year-end activities, please relook into it. Always check whether your idea can be a business idea. If it is having some validation, automatically you will have a business model. If you want to be an entrepreneur, try to keep these three functionalities, what I'm going to discuss, as a key one. One is desirability, second one feasibility, third one business viability or scalability. Always, it is a humble request for the faculty members also, when you identify or when you are a project review member, please analyze these ideas when the kids are bringing to you. Analyze an idea in this three angle. For how many people it is required. Okay, that is your desirability. Whether this problem is prevailing on a smaller group of people or with a larger community. Okay, so the first thing is identifying the problem. Nailing down your problem is the biggest task for any innovator or a startup community. Always, as an engineer also, we need to identify it. Defining the problem, take utmost care while defining the problem. Spend a lot of time, do a lot of interview with your potential customers or with the people, those who are having pain points, identify them, go and talk to them, spend a lot of time in finding your problem. Once, if you are nailing the problem and if you are identifying that, a lot of people want a solution for this problem. If you identify it, then that becomes your desirability. Always check whether your idea or this new things, whatever students are bringing, or if you are an entrepreneur, if you are in a startup community, always look at the first aspect. For how much people this is desirable, or how much people are having this pain point. Identify that step. That is the first step for your problem definition. Okay, converting your idea into your business idea. Okay, so first one is desirability. What makes sense to the people and for the purpose. Okay, second thing is, once you have decided that for a lot of people there is a problem. Okay, we have identified it and hope I can develop a solution for it. First thing is, do a market research, identify the people, those who are having pain points, talk to them, narrow down your problem. Once, if you are clear with the problem definition, finding a solution is secondary. Currently, there are n number of technologies that are available. You can find a solution. Okay, so that is your technological feasibility study. Okay, first is desirability. An idea should be desired, or the pain points should prevail among large number of people. You should come out with a solution for it. So first, nail down, identify how many people are suffering from that particular pain points. Narrow down. Then find out using technology, you can come out with a lot of solutions. Then do a feasibility study. And third thing is, if desirability, if around 1 lakh people are having this pain point, and I'm able to find out a solution using some technologies. And third thing you should look into is whether this idea will have a business viability or scalability. Okay, sustainability, how to sustain this business. That is the third thing you should look into. These are the three aspects to identify how differentiating between a simple idea and a business idea. This is the crux I want to communicate to the entire group, those who are listening today. Don't stick on with your project ideas as a simple ideas. Look into these three aspects, for how many people your solution is required, or how many people are having pain points related to your problem. Second thing, come back to the technology. You can use easiest way of doing things. Okay, it should be cost effective, financially viable one, technically feasible one. All those aspects has to be done in the feasibility study. And third thing, you have developed a solution, it is ready, commercially viable, and it is cost effective. If that is the case, how long the business will run? So how to sustain your model, business model? For example, if you consider Saji Varghese model, what is the business model means? He developed the solution, he has developed the machineries to extract or convert your ordinary leaves, coconut leaves, into straws. That was his technology. Okay, so business model is, he has given that into the self-help group, Simply, he cannot collect the coconut leaves and put it in Bangalore plant and run the entire thing is not ready, because transportation cost adds to it, okay, and cost of hiring a skilled labor in the city side will be higher. Instead, he has adapted the model of giving that to the local woman who is working in the self-help groups. They are empowered and they work and they come out with the model. So how to sustain your business model? These are the three things you should consider when you are identifying an idea for your project. Please look into these three aspects. Let me give an example for this. Two examples I want to give. One is related to nasofilters. Okay. Let me give the outline of why I have taken this example. If you consider in India, what are the most prevalent diseases among the Indians? Any wild guess?
Sugar.
Sugar, diabetic. So recently we have supported one young entrepreneur in RTB itself. I have taken that example also. I'll come back to this diabetic case, the later part. And now time being, I'll go with this idea. Second most vulnerable disease in India. First one is diabetic. I agree with that.
Cancer, sir.
Cancer, now it is prevailing because we have contaminated all our rivers. All our water sources are polluted. Cancer is becoming one among the dreadful diseases ahead of it. Correlate with this example. I have given the example.
Respiratory problems, sir.
Very good, very good. Respiratory issues, asthma. So it is the second most prevalent disease among the Indians. First is diabetic, followed by asthma. This fellow, how he is converting his mother's pain point into a business. That is why I want to look this in from this perspective. Three aspects what we have discussed: desirability, feasibility, and scalability or business viability. So the pain point is he found that his mother was suffering from asthma and he wanted to give a solution for his mother. The pain point is started from his mother, and how he has converted into a business. Please look into this. Is a 2-minute video for you.
Nasofilters is a patch which sticks onto your nasal orifice, doesn't go inside your nose and doesn't cover your face either. And at the same time restricts all the pollutants and smallest of the bacteria entering into your body. You can speak while putting it on, you can even eat while it's on your nose. We have used a unique technology which we call as nanotechnology. We are making nanofibers which are 100 times smaller than a thread of a normal fabric. And we are also increasing the pore density.
So look at this one. For his idea, he was given the national award in 2017 by our president. So simple idea, it fetched him the national award. Okay, so please listen.
Density of a normal fabric by millions of times on a unit area. This is the technology that we have built, that we have produced to make filter media of nasofilters, which is giving us really high efficiencies to restrict PM 2.5, the most penetrating particles and smallest of the bacteria. The idea actually originated to solve a personal problem, to solve my mother's problem rather. She is an asthmatic, came into my mind to get some product to relieve my mother's problem in the initial days. And then I came to know that this is a problem of million other Indians, and all across the globe. We are a team of highly expert technocrats, IIT Delhi graduates and IIT Delhi professors from textile departments, and together we have built the design and the technology of nasofilters. We are getting responses from queries from schools.
So let me analyze this example from the 3 points I have discussed. How an idea becomes a business idea. Okay, desirability. How much people are suffering from asthma according to his statement?
Millions of people, sir.
Millions of people. So millions of people are suffering from asthma in India. What are the alternatives available currently in the market?
Nebulizers and inhalers.
Inhalers and nebulizers, like Rotamac and the nebulizers, what they pay is, these are the solutions. But if you consider these two things, for a common man, maybe for a middle class and upper middle class, they can afford it. But for a lower and lower middle class, that category, cost-wise, we should bring down the cost of these nebulizers or your inhalers. Okay. So what was the cost he is pitching?
From 200 to 600, sir.
Nasofilter.
10 rupees.
10 rupee. That is the idea. Feasibility study. He has reduced the particle size to 2.5 per ppm. 2.5 ppm is the filtering rate or efficiency rate. Okay. At the same time, cost-wise, if you consider, they use nanotechnology, and technology-wise, it is feasible. They can reduce the particles entering into the nose or the nasal cavity, and the particle size is restricted to 2.5. Okay. At the same time, if you consider cost to 10 rupees, okay, so feasibility is also there. Whether this business will have a model or it will exist for a longer period. Scalability of the business. Target audience is around millions of people are suffering. Maybe out of that, if he is able to tap at least 10%, he will have a scalable business. Okay, so always look from this perspective when you choose a problem for your projects. Okay, second idea. This is all about IIT, guys. Okay, now let us come back to our own hometown, Coimbatore. Okay, before getting into Coimbatore, let me give our own example from TBI, what we have done. And we have supported one person from this company. There are two founders, Viva Life, and one is from Erode, the other one is from Hyderabad. They came together with this approach and they pitched for a solution for diabetic. Out of this, Viva Life founders, two were there. One is a woman and the other one is a person from Erode. He is a male. The woman is Varshita. She used to, she is a diabetic, and that too, we call it as a diabetic. There are a lot of cases. Okay, we classify them into type 1, type 2 diabetics. She belonged to this type 2 diabetics. That is deficiency of insulin production, or the body is resistant to insulin, obesity, and high blood sugar levels are significant other risk factors in type 2 diabetic people. She is suffering from this from her childhood. Okay, so childhood, normally what they do is they should take insulin injection every day. They should check the blood sugar levels throughout the day. So normally what she told us, she will be impregnating her fingers thrice a day to check the blood sugar levels. Okay, how painful. Normally, if you consider, when we are taking the blood sugar levels once in a month or once in 6 months, we find that it is painful when they impregnate with a needle or fingers. But every day, thrice a day, she will be getting impregnated with, and she has to test this one. And again, for testing, she's spending at least for every test 25 rupees to 50 rupees per day she is spending. to complete the entire process. If you consider for a month, she should spend at least 3,000 to 5,000 if she is a diabetic, since she was a type 2 diabetic. Okay. So what was pitched to us is they came out with a solution that they want to develop a product which will be non-invasive in nature. Okay. So let me give a glimpse of their product solution, what they have developed. Look at this one. This was the solution they developed with the funding from RTBI. We gave them around 10 lakhs as a grant and the Nidhi Prayas. And what they've done is they came out with the touch. With the touch, the glucose level is monitored and it will be put in the cloud, okay, where the data goes to your doctor. So it is like a pen drive. You can insert with your mobile phone, with your mobile single touch, okay, on this portion. If you are able to touch, the glucose level is monitored and the data goes to the cloud, and continuous accumulation of the data is taken, and the doctors can also view the data and they can prescribe your medicine for you. Okay? If you consider this idea, we have normally as investors, we evaluate an idea based upon these three parameters alone. For how many of them this will provide us solution? So what is the target market? Okay? Or how much people are requiring your solution? If you consider in India, normally in every family there will be a diabetic patient. Agreed or not? Whether it is agreeable?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Every family will have at least one diabetic patient. Okay? So the market size is very big. Okay? So they are projecting that. Look at this one. Maybe insights I'll go. Look at this one. This statistics. How many of them are suffering from diabetic? 35% of Americans suffer from diabetic. 62% of your South and Central American people are suffering. 156% of Africans are suffering. Beyond majority, everybody is having diabetic day. Okay, that is the prediction they are having. Okay, so if you consider their market size, okay, normally for investors they will give this data. Look at this one. Global diagnostic market, that is identifying the glucose level market. What is the current market value is $67.9 billion. That is the market size. Out of global worldwide market, if you narrow down to Indian market, diabetic market, for identifying the glucose level, okay, technologies whatever that is developing to identify the glucose in India, it has a market size of $1.9 billion. Similarly, out of this, they are aiming to serve for at least a market value of $295 million. So if you look into the second aspect, how many people, first aspect, that is for how many people it is desirable. If you consider, they have a huge market size. So first thing is desirability. Second thing, they are able to bring down the cost. They are developing it into 2 to 3 versions, and they are giving to have it as an EMI type. They want to expand it in 5 cities. Their market value, they want to have at least 1.5 lakhs people as their customers. Okay, the cost wise also they want to bring down. Instead of 25 rupees per day, simple one-time investment of the device. The device takes the data to the cloud. The doctor diagnoses all the data based upon all the data is available. And as a family, 4 or 5 people, they are going to have a data analytics package. 4 or 5 they can club together and they can use one device. So the cost is also brought down. Feasibility, cost-wise, technology-wise, and the efficiency is around 93%. We have checked it and they have completed and they are going for investment. Next phase of movement they have gone it. We have connected them with the angel and venture capitalists. They are in the process. They want to raise at least 10 to 15 crores of money for production. That's the aim. They want to have this market in 2023 or 2025. They want to have 4 types of product, and they want to have at least 7.2 million people as their customers. So with this expansion prediction, we have connected with them with a lot of investors. Like this is the thing I want to convey related to diabetic as well as asthma patients. It's all about what we have supported and what is happening across the India. And one another story I want to close this session with this last story. I think you have seen this film, Padman. Can you identify the person whose story has been converted into the film Padman?
An entrepreneur from Coimbatore.
An entrepreneur from Coimbatore named as Arunachala Muruganandam. Okay. So the pain point is lot of Indian women, rural women, still they does not use pad during the menstrual periods. They use cloth and some other mechanisms as a medium to cross that period. Okay. So he came out with a model, or he came out with a device. Look at this picture. Behind the green picture is the largest machine which is widely used for manufacturing the high-end sophisticated napkins. But the cost-wise, it is uneconomical for the rural and lower middle and lower class people. So he came out with the idea of developing a device like this, a bench type device, which can produce here low-cost napkins. That is his idea. So can you guess who is sitting behind him?
Bill Gates, sir.
Bill Gates. This person, a social entrepreneur from Coimbatore, is able to make a huge history. Okay? He was able to sit besides Bill Gates and talk on a forum. And if you listen, if you Google Arunachala Muruganandam and TED Talks, a lot of things will come. Okay? So I got inspired from this simple video. Please listen to him. I think audio quality will be little. Lisa, please listen.
So Arun, I'm sure that you're a role model for others. How do you think about passing that along? You've given us some of the lessons and the pearls you've used along the way. Do others come to you for advice or counsel as to how to be a successful innovator themselves? And how do you think about teaching others to be able to do what you've accomplished?
So in my perspective, the educated people across the globe, they're using their education just as a tool to survive. There's a blunder is happening. See, I'm classifying the whole world people into 3: uneducated, little educated, surplus educated. Okay, that's whatever you are studying. See, with the little education, if a person able to do it, so what you are going to do with the surplus education? So that's what is happening. The moment you come out from any institute, you are looking for an opportunity. That's what a stupidness is happening everywhere. There is no opportunity for 8 billion people around the globe. So what I'm teaching for my younger generation, where I'm going for a guest lecture, now this school dropout is a guest lecturer, including for your Harvard. I spoke in Harvard, in Stanford. So what I'm teaching them, don't look for an opportunity. It is not lying anywhere in open. So now opportunities are lying in the form of problems. So took a problem, address with your surplus knowledge, come out a solution, become a solution provider. So there is a space for every citizen if you try to become a solution provider. So don't look for opportunity. Don't use your education just to survive. Use your education to something transform the world.
So with that note, let us be a problem solver don't waste your education with simply using it for living. That is his idea. And he has come out with machineries, small machineries like this. There are a lot of YouTube videos are there. Please browse it. It is a tribute for young entrepreneurs. You can get inspired from him. Okay, please listen to him. Okay. So finally, let me give a glimpse of what we are doing at KEC, at TBI. So this is our alumni from mechanical. He was our first incubator. He started with a solution for providing drip irrigation to the agriculture fields. Now they are into fertigation also. And lastly, few months back, they have signed an MOU with a US company, and they are going for satellite imaging, capturing the image of the land. Okay, they identify the moisture content, they identify the potassium and nitrogen and the other particles available in the soil. NPK, generally we use that term to identify. They developed a device. They are going to big way. This is our first incubator from our TBI. Second case, this is a 2017 alumni from EEE department, and he came out with a model called to detect the ferrous particles in the gold production process. Normally gold, if you look into this ornaments, there are a lot of complex shapes are available. To polish this, they use a process called tumbling, where small needles get impregnated into this gold, and it goes to the customer. If the customer is charged for the needles which are get ferrous particles which are also along with the gold, it will create a nuisance to the customer, and the goodwill of the company will be lost. Okay, so he came out with a device to detect the ferrous particles in the manufactured gold ornaments, and he's sold around 350 machines within 2 years, and each machine cost around 5 to 10 lakhs. Let me give a glimpse of it.
Lala is an upcoming jeweler in the city. He beamed with pride when he received the best-in-class jewelry from manufacturers. Most of the jewelry Lala received passed the usual hallmark test, which is only a surface test, and this test cannot detect the ferrous impurities that is deeply penetrated in the jewelry. Generally, in most of the cases, a ferrous impurity is mixed into the gold jewelry during manufacturing processes like tumbling polish and hollow chain making. Most of those impurities cannot be traced by the naked human eye or with a magnet. Even if it's caught manually, it is simply thrown away, whose weight Lala has already paid to the manufacturer. The huge scale of financial loss that incurred from the impurities of kilograms and kilograms of gold jewelry remained largely unnoticed by Lala. Even if the impurity escapes and reaches the customer, there is every possibility that the customer might find it. And if the customer finds it, then the reputation of jewelry gained after years of service is completely at stake for Lala. Is there any solution that could solve Lala's unnoticed problem forever? Luckily, there is. It's the Magnet 3.0. The machine scans and detects even the 1 milligram of the ferrous impurity present in the jewelry with 100% accuracy in just a few seconds. Lala now detects the ferrous impurity in few seconds, even with a lesser manpower, and returns the defective jewelry to the manufacturer instantly. By saving on the unnoticed losses.
So this idea we supported under Nidhi Prayas scheme. We have given him 10 lakhs as a grant, and he developed the first vision. This is your Magnic 3.0, that is third version of the machine. For the first prototype, we have supported, he has patented, and he has produced around 350 machines and he has sold across the world. Okay? So it is a niche market because jewelry manufacturers will be very few. Now he is into the second and third product. He has developed second product for photography, and third product is in the process. So diversification is also required when your market size is very less. But niche market, huge money he has made it. He has, we have asked him to connect with a lot of investors, but since he has made money, he is not looking for any investors. He is going in the big way, the other way. Okay. So this is another example of what we are doing. And finally, since I'm running out of time, I'm skipping all these things. One thing I want to convey here is startup mania. I think Vellalar is also participating every year. We are all the 7th edition of Startup Mania. We will be floating in the month of August to September period. This students from EZ department, they developed a device for continuous posture monitoring. Normally, if you consider software people, they'll be sitting for hours and hours together in the chairs and they'll be doing their work. Okay, for ergonomic sitting, okay, you need a device to monitor how long you are stagnant, and you should change the position and you have to modify it. All these things we needed device. This device was the first this picture shows you the first prototype what they have developed, and for this during Startup Mania, I think second version or third version, he was awarded for this idea. Then from the prototype, it has gone to proof of concept. From the proof of concept, the final product will be like your pen drive, so that you can place it here at your neck portion, and you can monitor how, because continuously if you are watching the monitor, it gives stiffness to your neck. It gives a beep sound, or it gives a reminder that you should change your position, or you should move, or you should stand for a while and you can sit. All these things are given by this device. This is our outcome of your Startup Mania, and we funded this project also through our TBA, and they are doing good way. And last slide, I will stop with this one. If you are a startup, okay, normally, I think the recent movies, 2 movies, Miss India and Surarai Potru. I think, can you remember the name of the characters? Surarai Potru.
Maran, sir.
Ned Maran. Okay. And Miss India? Kirti Suresh's character. Samyukta. Good. Samyukta and Ned Maran. From these 2 films, you might have heard about few words like angel investors, venture capitalists, resilience, how to bounce back and again when there is failures. As an entrepreneur, as an early stage entrepreneurs, you will suffer a lot. So keep that in mind, and you should bounce back as an entrepreneur. You should have that courage and willpower to bounce back again. And normally you should understand that startups will have this valley of death. Okay? Normally, funding will come, okay, when you are in the first stage. For research, people will fund. Maybe for the next level, you will get another set of fundings. Okay? Basic research, applied research. Then third case, when you move for proof of concept or identifying your target market, or identifying your business plan, automatically fund flow will be getting reduced. Maybe family, friends, and founders can invest, okay, for your proof of concept or identifying your target market and preparing your business plan. From here, you will be in the debt. Okay, cash flow will not happen easily. There will be always, you have to spend more when you are in the early stage. Your research has to happen. Working prototypes you have to found. You have to find a team, proper team. You have to come out with the engineering prototypes. We call it as minimum viable product. You have to come out with a minimum viable product. Then you have to identify the suppliers. You have to identify the channels to reach out the customers. You have to identify the method of production, how you are going to produce the prototypes, how we are going to reach out to your customers. That I call it as distribution channels or contracts. Then you have to introduce the product into the market. Once if you are introducing that into the market alone, then your product will grow. Okay. So once if you reach this stage, until then, there will be always you will be suffering from the finance crisis. Okay. So you have to overcome this valley of death. Okay. During this period, you can pitch into angel investors, early stage venture capitalists. Venture capitalists will be there, and finally, when the product is successful, when it reaches your commercialization stage, then you can go for initial public offering shares you can give. For example, Girish Mathrubootham. Who is Girish Mathrubootham? Any idea about Girish? Freshworks. Okay. He is the first Indian startup company to be listed in NASDAQ US 3 to 6 months back. They pitched there. They started their gone for IPO. They raised huge money for their business. Okay, Freshworks are into SaaS platform, software as a service. Okay, they are into that, and they raised a huge money through IPO. Maybe in sometimes mergers can happen. Few companies can acquire you because your idea is good. They want to capitalize on it. Like Facebook acquired your WhatsApp, and they converted them into, they merged and they became a great business. Okay, these things will happen. So remember that as a startup, early stage entrepreneurs or innovators, there will be always a valley of death. If you cross this valley of death, then only you can launch your product and you can become successful. Okay, so hope these are the products we have developed at TBA. And thank you for patient listening. I think I have taken a few minutes extra. And thanks for the opportunity. If there is any queries, I'm ready to discuss on it.
Yes, students, if you have any queries, you can ask Dr. R. Parmesan, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
So my question is about, as a student, how can we become a better innovator, and how can we turn our innovative ideas into a good business?
Very good. I think my session was related to that only. So first identify nail down your problem, what you're going to solve. Once take utmost care while coining the problem, talk to the customers or do a market survey, identify which is the pain, how much people are having certain pain points. Maybe like in the case of nasofilter, the pain point was with his mother. He started to identify the pain point of his mother, then he wanted to provide a solution. So take utmost care to nail down the problem. Once the problem is nailed down, check whether it can have business. That idea can be a business model, can have a business model. So look for desirability, look for feasibility, look for scalability, business scalability. If all these things are available, you can convert your idea into a business idea. Hope I think I have answered you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Now, any other questions, please?
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Sir, how these innovation ideas fit to the large-scale organizations, sir?
Normally, there are three types of entrepreneurs, or your people, those are innovators converting into each and every stage. First thing I call it as startups, who is having an idea which can be scaled up. That general category I call it as startups. Second, entrepreneurs. Okay. From startups to once you launch the product, when you commercialize, when your market size is growing, we classify them as early stage entrepreneurs. From early stage entrepreneurs, still, if you are expanding, your product is having a huge market, you will expand your production facility, then you become a matured entrepreneurs. Then if you are running this for generations, we call them as a business people. So in each and every stage, either a startup or an entrepreneur or a business class, okay, your journey, in which location you are there, which type of problem you have taken to solve, that will fetch you a great business. So identify the category on which your stage you are available, then pitch in accordingly.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Now, any other queries?
Thank you, sir, for your stimulating speech. We are grateful for the time and effort you took to share your thoughts and experience with us. I would like to call upon Ms. A. Kirtana, second year biomedical engineering, to propose the oath of thanks.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. Beautiful things in the earth can be seen or touched. They can only be felt by the heart. Thank you is one such prayer among them. This is the time to show my sincere gratitude to Thiru S.T. Chandrasekhar sir, Secretary and Correspondent of Vellalar College of Engineering and Technology, Dr. M. Jayaraman sir, Principal of VCET, Professor P. Jayachandar sir, Dean of VCET, Dr. K. Vallavan sir, COE of VCET. I owe my sincere gratitude to the Chief Guest of the Day, Dr. R. Parameshwaran sir, for his valuable contribution, guidance about innovation, a key differentiator for success. I thank him exclusively for the continuous enthusiasm during the session, which inculcate us with more curiosity. And I am more thankful for the event coordinators and participants. We thank you one and all on behalf of our Entrepreneurship Development Cell for your presence and valuable time. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kirtana.
Dinesh, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. It's
Another team for giving me an opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Wonderful eye-opening session for all our students, sir. Thank you very much. We hope you are participate in near future for our IIC also, sir.
We'll be in the position to support you all.
Definitely.
TBA is open for you. If you are having innovative ideas, if somebody is having some thought process,
okay,
how to convert an idea into a business thing, please ask them to approach us.
Definitely, sir. Okay, sir.
We'll help them.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dinesh. Thank you, collection madam.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye. See
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Students, so all of you join sharply at 1:45 p.m. for the afternoon session. Thank you all for this session, for joining this session. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.